Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to see the game played between Bobby Fischer versus Spassky in the year 1992. This is the game 10. The match was a major event in chess history, the long awaited return of one of the lost legends of chess. Bobby Fischer had not played any competitive games since 1972 and had hardly been seen in public. Here Fischer was white. He played the move e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, Ruy Lopez opening, a6, bishop a4, knight f6, castle, bishop e7, rook e1, b5, bishop b3, d6, c3, kingside castle, h3, knight b8. In this position, knight a5 is the popular, but Spassky played the move knight to b8. This has for a long time been one of Spassky's standard openings. d4, striking the center, knight b d7, knight b d2, bishop b7, bishop c2, rook e8, knight f1. b4 was played in the 10th game of the Fischer versus Spassky in the match 1972. Knight f1 played by Fischer, bishop f8, knight g3, g6, bishop g5, h6 was played with the idea of not allowing white to play knight g5, bishop d2, bishop g7. Suppose in this position, if Spassky captured the pawn, e captures on d4, c captures on d4, c5 was played in the third and fifth games of the match in the year 1992. Bishop f4 was played by Fischer in the third game. C capture d4, knight capture d4, knight e5, b3, d5. Spassky blew open the center and Fischer was lucky to escape with a draw. Instead of bishop f4, if white played the move d5, now knight b6, bishop a5, knight of d7, b3, bishop g7, rook c1, queen f6. This position occurred in the fifth game. So let's go back to the game. Bishop g7 was played by Spassky. a4, a strong positional move probing black's queen side and in effect developing the a1 rook. c5, d5, c4, b4. White is offering an end pattern to open and play on queen side. Knight h7, bishop e3, taking control some squares on the queen side and preparing queen side attack. h5, queen d2, rook f8 with the idea of f5, rook a3, knight d f6 played by Spassky. Suppose if you played the move h4 in this position, now knight f1, f5, e capture f5, g capture f5, knight g5, knight capture g5, bishop capture g5, bishop f6, bishop h6, bishop g7, bishop capture g7, king capture g7, f4. To get solid advantage, Fischer is still well positioned to play on the king side. Knight d f6 was played in the game. Rook e a1, queen d7, rook 1 a2, rook f c8, queen c1, bishop f8, queen a1. Fischer's plan is to bring a knight to b1 and exchange on b5. But Spassky has a challenge either to defend queen side or attack on king side. Queen e8, knight f1, bishop e7, knight d2. Bringing the knight on f3 to b1 is a mistake because now black counter play on king side. h4, knight e2, knight h5. The point is that if white continues to play knight b1, then knight f4. Knight capture f4, e capture f4, bishop capture f4, bishop capture d5, e capture d5 is a mistake. Queen e1 check, king h2, queen capture f2, attacking white dark square bishop, bishop d2. Now rook e8 with the idea of rook e2. This is completely winning for black. So white played the move knight f1, bishop e7, knight 1 d2, king g7, knight b1. White intends simply to exchange on b5, take off all the major pieces on a8 and then play knight a3 when black will have no way to defend the b5 pawn. Knight captures e4 played by Spassky. So in this position knight d7 was a mistake. A captures on b5, a capture b5, rook capture a8, rook capture a8, rook capture a8, queen capture a8, queen capture a8, bishop capture a8, knight a3. White wins by capturing the b5 pawn and create pass pawn. So Spassky played the move knight capture e4. Spassky, seeing that white's pieces are busy on the queen side, seizes his best chance of counterplay. Bishop capture e4, f5, bishop c2, bishop capture d5, a capture b5, a capture b5, rook a7, king f6, knight bd2, rook capture a7, rook capture a7, rook a8, g4. A brilliant move played by Fischer. White breaks up black's king side pawns and exposes his king. H capture g4, H capture g4, rook capture a7 was played by Spassky. Suppose in this position if Spassky played the move f4, now bishop e4, f capture e3, bishop capture d5 attacking black rook, rook capture a7, knight e4 check, king g7, queen capture a7. White is piece up and all of his pieces are well positioned. So rook capture a7 was played by Spassky instead of pushing f4 pawn. Queen capture a7, f4, bishop capture f4. A brilliant move played by Fischer. E capture f4, knight h4. White taking control, light square on black king side for attack. Bishop f7, queen d4 check. King a6 was played by Spassky. If Spassky played the move king g5, now queen g7 forces mate in 6 move. Bishop f8, knight h f3 check. Now black king is forced to capture the g4 pawn. Now queen capture h7. So this is completely winning for white. So for queen d4 check, black played the move king e6 instead of king g5. Knight f5, forking on g7. Bishop f8, queen capture f4, king d7 was played by Spassky. So what happens if we capture the knight? Now bishop captures f5 check, leaves white a pawn up after bishop capture h7. So for queen capture f4, black played the move king d7 instead of capturing the knight. Knight d4, queen e1 check, king g2, bishop d5 check, bishop e4, bishop capture e4 check, knight capture e4, bishop e7, knight capture b5, knight f8, knight b capture d6, knight e6 attacking white queen. Now queen e5. Now white is threatening to give the check on b5. So white is completely winning in this position. Spassky on the move number 50 resigned the game. Since winning this match against Spassky, Fischer did not play again, and at a press conference in 1995 to promote a form of shuffled chess, uh, he pronounced that chess was dead. Thanks for watching my video. If you like my video, subscribe to my channel. Take care. Bye bye.